Long before agricultural science became formalised, medieval peasants understood the need to rest their soil. They practiced a rudimentary form of crop rotation, planting different crops in different fields each year to avoid exhausting nutrients. Typically, this three-field system involved rotating between a grain crop, a legume, like peas or beans, and a fallow field left to recover. This simple method increased yields and helped prevent famine, proving that peasant wisdom often matched, or even exceeded, the era's official science. When food was scarce or just bland, peasants turned to nature for flavour and nutrition. Wild herbs like nettles, sorrel, dandelion greens and purslane were gathered regularly. These plants added vital vitamins and minerals to diets dominated by bread and gruel. Nettles, though stinging when fresh, became a vitamin-rich soup ingredient once cooked. Peasants passed down foraging knowledge orally, teaching which plants healed, which seasoned, and which were poisonous. Without refrigeration, medieval people relied on smoking to preserve their meat and fish. Small smokehouses, often shared between families, would use low, smouldering fires and herbs like rosemary or juniper to flavour and dry the meat. This process could take days, but it kept food edible for weeks or months. Smoked herring, bacon, and salted eels were staple proteins during long winters. Peasants often used Y-shaped dowsing rods to locate underground water. While modern science doesn't support its effectiveness, at the time, this was a trusted method. Many believed the rods reacted to water's energy, guiding the dowser's hands to hidden springs or wells. Whether magic or luck, it helped communities dig wells in the right places more often than not. Medieval resourcefulness meant reusing everything. Hollowed-out gourds became natural water bottles, while pig bladders were cleaned, inflated, and tied off to carry liquids. Though it may sound unappealing today, these vessels were lightweight, waterproof, and, best of all, free. Travellers and shepherds often relied on such makeshift containers during long days away from home. Stinging nettles used as fabric fibre. Though painful to touch, stinging nettles were a valuable resource for medieval peasants. Once harvested and soaked, the tough stems could be broken down into fibres and spun into thread. The result was a coarse but durable fabric that could be woven into sacks, ropes, and even clothing. This clever reuse of an otherwise irritating plant made nettles a surprisingly important survival tool in resource-scarce areas. In peasant households, nothing went to waste. Animal bones were sharpened into needles or awls, hides were tanned for clothing or shoes, and even sinew was dried and used as thread. Bone splinters could insulate walls, and hides could be stretched over window frames. These practices show the deep ingenuity of rural life, where every part of a hunted or slaughtered animal served a purpose. In some villages, peasants crafted dome-shaped clay beehives called skeps to keep bees for honey. Honey wasn't just a rare sweetener, it was used to treat wounds and soothe coughs, while beeswax was essential for making candles in homes without natural light. Keeping bees was a delicate but rewarding process, and hives were often carefully placed near wildflowers or herb gardens to ensure good yields. Keeping bugs off food wasn't easy without modern screens or sprays. Peasants used smoke, smouldering herbs and damp wood to deter insects inside their homes. Hanging garlic near pantries and beds was another common practice, believed to repel not just flies but evil spirits too. These techniques were part of everyday domestic knowledge, passed on primarily by women and rooted in both observation and superstition. To survive long, cold winters, peasants had to prepare well in advance. Root vegetables like turnips, carrots and onions were stored in deep-root cellars, holes dug into the earth where temperatures stayed cool and stable. Grains were kept in clay pots, sealed with wax or animal fat to keep out moisture and pests. These storage methods were simple but remarkably effective, and could mean the difference between hunger and survival.